Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the wild landscape of Scotland. And today we've come to the little village of Cortachy. And here's a sign telling us about the Wild South Esk, which is the river that we're about to go down and have a look of. And I just thought it's a cool little adventure this, because I was driving past and I looked down at one of the parts alongside the river and I just thought it looked so incredible. All the different colours of the bushes and the shrubs. And this is Airlie Estate on the land. Well, the land we're about to explore is owned by Cortachy Castle and the Airlie Estate. And all this area that we're about to explore was actually landscaped, and incredible plants and shrubs and trees were planted at an ancient time when the estate was in its prime. And I just thought, like, it's actually raining most places today, but it appears to be kind of dry just now, but I'm guessing within the next half hour the rain's probably going to come on, so I'm just hoping to get this adventure done. And it's a cool little spontaneous adventure. That's often when you see the coolest things. This is one of these little remote kind of Scottish villages. Often villages like this were built up around the communities of the estates, like Cortachy Estate and things like that. I was down here probably like last year or whatever, looking at one of the old graveyards and things like that. So today we're going like the opposite direction, just to see an incredible piece of landscape and anything else that's hidden within it. So I was just saying how the rain wasn't far away, and actually now the rain has come on. Hopefully on this path that I go it'll be a little bit sheltered from some of the trees. Because now at this time of year, the height of summer, the trees are like fully leafed and it makes for an excellent canopy on a rainy day. Check this out, the gates which lead in to the grounds of Cortachy Castle and the Cortachy Church and things like that. Incredible metal gates. This is super cool, folks. This is the original front gates to Cortachy Castle. And just look how grand they are right here. I think there's two little houses there at the edge of the gates, and they were like recently renovated and done up because originally they were in pretty poor condition. But I believe Cortachy Castle is now actually privately rented. It's not actually the laird and lady of the estate anymore that live in Cortachy Castle. And that just reflects a lot of Scottish estates and how they are nowadays financially. The laird and ladies can't even stay in the great house anymore of the estate. And check this out down here, folks. There's a massive stone in the river down at the far side there. That big stone, that was actually the Devil's Stone. And they used to say if the river rose up above the height of that stone, it meant the laird of the estate had died. And the old folklore of the estate was that the river had actually done that. It used to rise up if the laird died. Wow, just check this place out, folks. We're not even off the path, well, off the main road yet. And look at it. It's just such a beautiful scene at this time of year with all the colours. And once we go through this gate, it's like going into a different world. The colours of these shrubs and trees through here are just amazing. Wow, folks, you can hear how heavy this rain is pelting the trees above our heads. It's almost like a tropical storm, and we're entering the rainforest right here. And it's just so beautiful to see all this areas at the side where it's been landscaped over the years. You can see the colours of the shrubs lost within the green wilderness of the trees and ferns. It's almost like a picture postcard from Scotland here. A video postcard of a crazy piece of land right here. And if the rain comes on too heavy, then all the trees and shrubs will probably get the petals and things knocked off. Here we go, folks. This is what I could see from the road, and I just wanted to come and document it on this short video. But as you can see, like I was saying at the start of the video, the rain is on heavy today, and it was surprising to me that it wasn't even raining at Cortachy when I got there. Look at this mad display here of the yellow shrubs with the red and purple between them. And then look at these ones here, the pink, almost white colours of these ones. Leading on right down through all these trees and shrubs that were planted at that ancient time on the Airlie Estate here. So just check this out, folks, the different colours of this. The vivid red there on those petals, it's just incredible, the mixture with the yellows. Often on a rainy, wet day like this is when you actually get the best of nature. Like the colours are more vivid, darker with the water on them. And I can see even the trees are special around here, with like the copper beech trees behind me, and all these different fir type trees, evergreen trees. Often estates back at the time when like Cortachy and things were in their prime, they would have acres of gardens and probably 10 gardeners or more to look after it all. And that's at the time they would be like importing rare trees like this from all over the world, and plants and shrubs. So when people came to like visit them from their other estates or whatever, it was like a flex of its era. And this is a giant sequoia tree. When we were young, we used to call it the punching tree, because we used to come and punch them because the bark on them is quite soft. So that was the reason, we just always called it a punching tree. But it's actually a giant sequoia. And in America, they grow a lot bigger than this. Like, this is just a tiny, like, version of this tree, basically. In Scotland, they don't grow as tall as, like, in America. Wow, this is crazy, folks. I'm just like under this tree sheltering from the rain right now. Shout out to the couple that was sheltering under the tree further back down that way. I can't even believe the landscapes that I end up in the middle of. If the rain stays on this heavy, I might have to do a U-turn and head back along. It's just an incredible rainforest vibe I'm getting from this place. It's so cool being able to share scenes like this with people all over the world. You get an idea of Scotland and the sort of places and little corners that's just hidden, ready to be explored. And the colours here in front of me, they're so vivid, it keeps blowing me away. I'm probably repeating myself when I keep saying that, but like, you go around the corner and there's just so many new things, like new plants. Really rich, dark colours of the petals. It's just incredible when you go underneath a tree on a day like this, folks. You can hear the sound of that rain. It's just so heavy now, it's almost thunder-like. And this is actually the day after the Angus show that you may have seen in the last video. And yeah, I'm just like out for a walk basically, but it shows you how different the weather can get within one day. Check this out, there's a path here. I should maybe go this path on the way back down, because look, it leads off down that direction. There's the Riverside esque, and now we've got this orangey pink kind of plant here. It looks incredible. The colours today out here are just so special to see. And when you see a garden like this, you can just imagine how grand it looked originally when it was actually cared for and looked after. So this area, this side of the river at Cortachy, is actually the more wild garden, and there was actually an even better kept garden at the far side next to the castle. And my grandfather actually used to be the head forester here on Cortachy Estate, and that's how it's interesting to come and see these lands and just think he may have like cared for these trees and managed this land at a certain time. Wow, it's like being in a rainforest when you see all the green trees with the heavy rain between. It's a Scottish rainforest for sure. I think this is quite a popular path for like dog walkers and local people. And on the really hot days, you always get people coming up here swimming. There's a cool little swimming spot. Wow, this is just mad, folks. Like, look at this terrain that I'm dealing with here. It's fine having a path like this because it's a busy path. It's quite clear of like grass and stuff like that. Right, folks, I'm bailing out of going that direction because I'm getting absolutely soaked. The rain's so heavy and it's not actually letting up. I was hoping it was going to go off after maybe like 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to try and head back that other path that I saw going that direction. It's a good job I didn't stay under the tree until the rain went off, because literally I would have been there all day. Yeah, this is mad. This is the bit of path that I've never been on before in my life. It seems to just be a similar direction to the other path, but this one runs along the side of the river's edge, because it's just a steep slope down there into the river south-esque. And this is probably like a popular fishing area. That's probably still something that goes on estates like this here. There's probably permit fishing, and there'll be different fishing areas the whole way up. Often you would get your permit and then just go to your location, your designated location. Or sometimes certain days, different locations will be better than others. Don't be a fool, pick up the stool. There's a good slogan for you folks if you're out walking your dogs. That must be what this is here. They might have been getting bothered with people like leaving their dog doo-doos on the ground. So it looks like it's been designed by like a local school or something like that. Sometimes when I was at school, I remember that now and again they would have a competition like that. You could get your picture somewhere, or they would use your picture if you drew it. So here we are, folks. We'll get a little couple of minutes shelter under this tree. I can literally feel the rain soaking through my coat now into my t-shirt. It's amazing how much a beech tree or something like this really protects you from the rain. But it's just coming down in sheets just now. It is just like that thundery rain that they were talking about. And even the river water now, you can see it, the raindrops are bouncing on top of the water. Under the water there, I can see there's a mad like sandstone bedrock seam under the ground here. And you see that all over Scotland in rivers like this. The river south-esque flows right the way down into the Montrose Basin, near some of the areas of the coast that I normally explore. This river pretty much goes right through Angus, and it's one of Angus's main rivers. And it is a popular fishing river. Well, most of the rivers in Angus are popular for fishing. Some of them you get salmon and things like that, whereas other ones, like the River Isla, because of the Reekie Linn waterfall being so high, the salmon can't go any further up than that. Look at that. Don't be freaky. Pick up the feces. I'm guessing that must have been some local campaign or something to raise awareness of people leaving their dog dirt around. Oh man, it's just so heavy rain. I'm dreading walking in the open. Like, that's what these adventures are all about though, folks. To document the beauty of Scotland and the crazy wild landscapes. Often you just have to go out all weathers. To have multiple videos a week, and often you can't be too picky on the weather when you're exploring, like. And I just love being out all weathers. I should have really had my waterproof coat, or maybe even an umbrella, and that would have been the sensible thing to do. Look at this, we can see the river here. Wow, folks, on this channel I love documenting Scotland, like all conditions, all times, and today it's raining. Some people's commented on my channel before saying like it's always sunny where you live, but literally like it's not. And we get our fair share of rain, and that's how everything's so green in Scotland, like mossy. It's an incredibly damp environment. But it's like 15 degrees Celsius today, so it's a humid, damp environment. And that's how often things are like mossy. Check out this area here, folks. It's like a little island. When the river's high, it must flow down this secondary channel here, and it's just pure pebbles and stuff. And you have to imagine this will be the sort of pebbles and things that's under the ground in a place like this, on top of the bedrock. Wow, what a spot this is. I sometimes love coming off the main path just to get a different angle, but I can see there's a crazy view looking up that way, but it's blocked from the green trees at this time of year. Yeah, there's proper big cliffs and things like that. The water's so clear, it's just incredible. And like I said earlier as well, this area is popular with wild swimmers. And look at this, there's a house perched right on the edge of that. It's solid bedrock right there. And this is the back end of like Cortachy village at the top of this hill. Yeah, the river just drops off and goes away around, and that's where the bridge is on the main road, on the area that we first came in. A big bit of scrap lined in there by something. Anyway folks, let's head on with this adventure. There we go folks, I can see the main road bridge of Cortachy going over the river there. And it looks just so incredible at this time of year. Once again, we're exploring paradise on this adventure. It's almost just like a secret jungle. Well, a jungle-like terrain that we're in. And like, probably if you went through the middle of that there, it would be soaking wet. You would just be soaked. Whoa, there's a deer! There's a deer running the opposite way through the ferns now. If I had a zoom lens, I could have gotten it there. Like, it was just standing looking straight at me. So if it wasn't raining so heavy right now, I would probably go along the edge of that mossy cliff there and have a look around, but it's just too extreme right now, folks. Look at this, the way the moss is on this tree. You can see when it rains, the rain must trickle down, and trees like that just look like they're made of moss. Yeah, look at this as well. This is the little footpath. At one time these paths would have been used to be like the laird and lady of the estate. And that's how these mad areas were originally landscaped like that. But this is one of the old tunnels which takes you through underneath the road. It's the pedestrian tunnel. And I believe it's got an old date written at the other side. I have been to this kind of area at the other side quite a few times on videos over the years. That's why today I wanted to document this area when it was in full bloom, and you really get an idea of the variation of the shrubs and the colours of the shrubs, the different type of trees and bushes. Like, it's just mind blowing. And it's somewhere I always mean to go in there at this time of year and look at it, but sometimes I'm just so busy going other places. 1867, so that gives you an idea. Imagine what they were wearing back then going through there. Ancient fashions of that era. Probably if you were found walking on those paths like back then and you were just general public, you would have been kicked off or escorted off the premises. Whereas nowadays we can walk here at our leisure and just explore another piece of Scotland's paradise. Sometimes these places are kind of hidden and you don't even know about them because they're not on like mainstream tourist routes or anything like that. But there's so many little interesting pieces of landscape like that in Scotland to explore. I just love it. Anyway folks, we're back down at the main road. I can't believe how heavy this rain came on, like considering it was dry at the start of the video. And you can see from my coat, it's just soaked through. I can feel it on my shoulders, and if it wasn't 15 degrees today folks, it would be so cold. The weather we had at the Angus show yesterday was just the opposite to this. It was just the most incredible summer's day with pure sunshine. And then one day after, just check this out folks, days like this will be making the fields grow. Sometimes that you see the crops, they just grow up like 3 or 4 inches within a couple of days when you get rain and sunshine like this. Look at this incredible gate once again. Looks like it's made with grey sandstone, like a lot of properties back in the day. And then the big iron gates. And I think estates like that, they've got multiple different drives going in. from each angle, and then like each gate had its own little lodge or whatever. And I think originally the person that lived in those lodges would have been like keeping an eye on the gates. I don't know if they would have opened and shut the gates or just literally been more of a security kind of thing, like taking note of anybody that came in and out. Right folks, that's me just about back at my car, so I'll end this one here. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back soon with the next one, wherever I end up going.